Have you ever noticed something different about people who grew up in the 1970s? The way they think, the way they love, the way they endure life without making noise about it. They are strong, but not loud. Independent, but deeply loyal. Emotionally reserved, yet incredibly deep. Today, we're exploring the psychology of people who grew up in the 1970s and why their mindset is rare, powerful, and often misunderstood. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you may see them and yourself in a completely new way. People who grew up in the 1970s were raised in a world very different from today. There were no smartphones, no social media, no instant gratification. If you wanted something, you waited. If you failed, you learned. If you were hurt, you endured. This generation didn't grow up being protected from discomfort. They grew up being prepared for reality. Psychologically, this shaped adults who don't panic easily. They think before reacting. They remain calm when life becomes chaotic. They didn't learn strength from motivational quotes. They learned it from experience. People raised in the 1970s were not taught to talk endlessly about their emotions. They were taught to control them. That's why many of them feel deeply but express selectively. They love intensely but show it through actions, not words. They suffer quietly rather than seeking attention. This doesn't mean they lack emotions. It means they were trained to master them. Psychologically, this gave them emotional endurance, self-control, and the ability to remain composed when others fall apart. They don't overshare. They don't overreact. They observe, process, and then move with intention. This generation also values loyalty and commitment. They grew up in a time when relationships were repaired, not replaced, when promises meant something, when walking away was the last option, not the first. That's why people who grew up in the 1970s take relationships seriously. They don't give their trust easily, but once they do, it runs deep. Psychologically, they are wired for long-term thinking. They don't chase quick pleasure. They build stability. They understand that anything worth having takes time. In a world addicted to speed, this mindset is powerful. People from the 1970s also developed strong independence early in life. They learned to solve problems on their own. They learned to make decisions without constant guidance. They learned that life would not always be fair, and that strength comes from within. This created adults who don't need constant reassurance. They don't fear being alone. They trust their own judgment. Psychologically, they have a strong inner compass. They don't follow trends blindly. They don't need approval to feel worthy. They know who they are, even when no one is watching. In today's loud world, people who grew up in the 1970s are often misunderstood. They may seem quiet, old-fashioned, emotionally guarded, but what many people don't see is their silent strength. They carry wisdom earned through hardship, resilience built through struggle, and values shaped by real life, not illusions. They don't announce their strength. They reveal it when it matters most. If you grew up in the 1970s, understand this. Your mindset is rare. Your resilience is powerful. Your quiet strength is deeply needed in this generation. And if you didn't grow up in that era, there is still a lesson here. Slow down. Build resilience. Value commitment. Learn to stand strong without applause. Because real strength doesn't shout. It endures. If this speaks to you, drop a comment and like this video. And don't forget to subscribe to Word and Soul for more content that feeds your mind, strengthens your spirit, and helps you grow.